And welcome to Questa College. It's time for another Questa TV production of Questa Athletics, as tonight it's the final game of the regular season as the Cougars take on the Raiders of Moorpark College. Good evening, I'm Randy Scoville along with Jim Battersby. A game that definitely has a lot of implications for the playoffs as far as the Cougars are concerned. They come in with a record of 20-9. They are 9-2 and right now half a game in first place ahead of Ventura. Moorpark coming in 9-13, 5-5 overall. And Jim, definitely again, how things can happen in the postseason. A lot really hinges on a game, some people might see as, well, it's just another game at the end of the season between a first-place team and a middle team. But this is a game, last time they played, Moorpark won. Moorpark won, and we are in the driver's seat right now, but with a loss, we could drop down to the third or fourth seed and find ourselves, strangely, playing Ventura on the road, even though we've beaten them twice. So I'm never sure how this thing works, but let's just win the ball game and keep it simple, right? That's right. Well, the seeding is always, shall we say, a little bit interesting. Cougars riding a 5-game win streak. The last time the two teams met was January the 25th down at Moorpark, and Moorpark winning that one 71-65 behind 23 points by Shaquille Moore. Had a double-double with 11 boards to go with. Also in that game, Austin Howell, also a double-double, 18 points, 10 boards. And also double-figure scoring from J.R. Powell with 12. The Cougars were led by Alex Iguala at 18 points and 5 boards. Alejandro Horta had 11 points. And Brett Hartshorn with 9 points and 11 boards. But also the key for the Cougars in that game was 15 turnovers. So as you would expect, need to take care of the ball tonight because, again, like you say, there's a lot to gain tonight. Yeah, my sense about Moorpark, too, is they're another up-tempo team that they'll like to get the ball up and run, but they – watching him coach, Remy McCarthy coach the women's team, they were a slick passing team that ran good plays, and they were very strong on the boards. And I expect somewhat the same approach by the men tonight. All right, and tonight's starting lineups for the Raiders of Moorpark. Coach Remy McCarthy is stepping down after 17 years, also was head coach for 5 years at Oxnard and was honored by Rusty Blair. Before the start of the game, he's moving on to be the women's coach at Moorpark. They will have number 2, J.R. Powell, sophomore from Royal High School, Shaquille Moore, a freshman from Madera South. Number 15 is Cheyenne Ballure, a sophomore from Magora. Austin Howe, number 21, freshman from Grand Rapids. That's a hike. Adrian Powditch, a freshman from Westlake, wearing number 22 for the Cougars. Valentin Bauer, the freshman from Austria, wearing number 1. Alex Igual out of Spain, wearing 12. Kyle Gear from Bridgeport, Connecticut, number 14. Oscar Pedroso, out of Portugal, 21. The leading scorer for the Cougars, and Brett Hartshorn out of Belgium, wearing number 44, as it's controlled initially by Cheyenne Ballure. And we're underway here at Cuesta Gym. Officials tonight are Brian Marine, Paul Landavazzo, and the head official is Terrence Minoy. Shaquille Moore will pull up and take a long 2. Rims out, won't go, but a big fight for the offensive rebound. Down by Howell with the ball lost, and it will be the first Cougar possession as we're just underway. Glad you could join us here on the County of Education channel. We also stream sports via network1sports.com as Valentin Bauer pushing it up and wearing the face mask, Alex Igual. Garrett Igual playing some catch in the perimeter, first 30 seconds of the game. Pedroso moving in, fadeaway shot. Around contact is good. Oscar Pedroso first on the board for either team, 2-0 Cougars. Moving inside Moore, and the feed coming on over from the weak side. It is Austin Howell for the first 2 and evens it out quickly. Just flying up the court, just trying to show the pace they want to set tonight. It's that up-tempo game that we're expecting. Pedroso on the wing. Igual fading away, lost control, going across the lane, and J.R. Powell comes up with it. Ballure back to Powell, almost lost his footing. And they'll send it back out high to Cheyenne Ballure to reset. About a minute in, we're tied at 2. Hartshorn coming out for some high defense. Ball lost, but then regained by Powditch. Still 16 to shoot, though. Moore, 6'4" guard. Works around Hartshorn. Inside, feed inside. Coming nice under the hoop. Coming baseline was Howell who had it snuffed. 5 seconds to shoot for Moorpark. Oscar Pedroso right there to make a nice clean block. Fuller does get it in time, and they didn't have a lot of time to work with, but it's Howell again with 4 points. It's 4-2 and the first Moorpark lead. Igual to the trailing Gear. He's wearing the mask tonight. I don't know. Pedroso trying to get away from the double team, lost it.
First game, one of the Questa women had a broken jaw, so she got a similar mask on. So.
More change of pace, going and driving baseline. We'll send it back over to Powell. Powell lost it. Bauer on it. And a held ball, and on the possession arrow, it's going to go Questa.
Nice pass, Shaq. Hey, hey, hustle, you two. Hustle, hustle, you two.
Cougars really been able to overcome a lot of the early season injuries, too. I know when we were back out here for the season opener, a lot of the big men were out. Forced Rissi Blair to rearrange a bit, but now having some other folks back definitely helps his team out. Agual lost control and turned it over after some aggressive defense near the elbow over to Moorpark.
A lot of players got some valuable time, though. That's going to help in the long run. That's you need 8 good players up to 10 this time of the year. Wear and tear and pace of the game. So,
and 4 sophomores playing their final home regular season game. We're honored before the game. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. As Moore's fadeaway won't go, knocked away, a race for it, and Moore's going to save it.
Moorpark's having success getting inside so far. Even though they are not bigger than Questa, it's a pretty even matchup that way.
Moore making use of the new shot clock. Sends it back out high, Powditch. And how where a lot of the offense goes, and it's lost, and Wall's pushing it up to Pedroso. A bit of a rush pass. Pedroso can't contain it. It will go back over to the Raiders. So after those quick baskets, it's been stuck at 4-2 for a while.
What?
3 minutes in.
Yeah. Gal hit the deck there pretty hard. He thought he was fouled, but just part of the loose ball, part of the basketball game.
Balleur gets his own after the runner. Spin move, turn around, and the first 2 for Cheyenne Balleur, and that's going to pull a timeout of Rusty Blair about 3 minutes in with 16:54 to go in the first half. 6-2 right now. Again, you know, you're talking about Moorpark and the tempo that they keep the ball moving. They're able to crash inside pretty well. And really right now you're not seeing Questa really settle for, you know, or maybe settling a bit, but not really getting the shots that they want. A little attempt to penetrate inside, but it's still, it doesn't seem like they've hit their flow yet.
Yeah, they're passing sloppy. We're coming up court. We're not getting shots. We're turning the ball over. Mostly bad passes. So we have to settle down. Haven't really seen what we're trying to run yet. I'm always interested to see how our long-range shooting is going to be on any given night. Hopefully it's good tonight.
Yeah, and I think offensively Hartshorn hasn't touched the ball yet, and Bauer just barely. That it's been fairly contained as Bauer sends it up to Gear and now to Agual. He and Pedrosa have been aligned. Just as we say that, Hartshorn does get a touch now. Down to Agual, a lot more motion now on this possession. Reverse from Pedrosa won't go, knocked out long and pulled in by Powell.
Pedrosa was deep under the board. That was a difficult shot.
Shaquille Moore pulling up for the 3, won't go. And it'll be Pedrosa who will race to it. Cougars running the court. Hartshorn has it deflected, comes right back to Pedrosa though, and he got the whistle inside. First foul of the game on either team.
Little off-balance attempt by Hartshorn. Pedrosa was there to grab the rebound and got fouled in the act.
Shaquille Moore called for his first. We're going to have Richard Thomas, 11, and 12 Spencer Smith set to check in for Moorpark momentarily. 16:23 to go in the first half. 6-2 game, and Pedrosa with the free throw. He has all 3 of the Cougar points at 6-3. Meanwhile, backcourt changes. Jared Powell and Shaquille Moore will go out as the foul was on Moore.
Pedrosa had a career high of 35 against Hancock on the 5th of February.
And Pedrosa makes them both. Richard Thomas, sophomore out of Ventura, and Spencer Smith, freshman out of Buena. 6-4 game after the free throws from Pedrosa into the corner. Smith will send it out high to Powditch. Looking for somebody. Lunges, gives it, and it's going to be Balleur on a drive. Going inside and able to draw contact. And the first Cougar whistle. And it's going to be on Brett Hartshorn.
That was an acrobatic attempt that had no possibility of going in, but he was.
But it had plausibility. It was a plausible shot, and that leads to 2 free throws.
I haven't heard that word used much in basketball, plausibility.
Plausibility, that's important. Well, we are on a college campus, though, too.
We are, yeah.
Cheyenne Balleur making the first. And made them both. Looks smooth. He's got 4 points, as does Howe, and that accounts for the 8 for Moorpark and their 8-4 lead 4 minutes into the game.
Going a little bigger with Kyle Gear in there.
Pedrosa sending it back out high to Wall. 19 to shoot. The Cougars being a little more deliberate, and we're seeing a little more motion since the timeout called by Rusty Blair.
I wonder how Igual is adapting to that mask that he's wearing.
Quick hands of Blair, 5 to shoot. Igual is going to launch one on the run, and it
Very
falls.
well, apparently.
That's his first bucket. Well, again, let necessity the mother of invention. He was able to create a shot. It's 8-6.
Nice bang. Nice bang.
Cougars coming out and greeting the Raiders with a zone with Bauer and Igual in the front. Working around the perimeter into a cutting Smith inside. They send it back out long, and the three is good. Cheyenne Ballore is picking up the offense. He's got 7 of his team's 11.
He's come out firing away. He's a creative player. You can tell that. He drives, got a variety of shots.
Sophomore backcourt player for the Raiders. Bauer and Pedrosa. Gear getting a rare touch on offense. Fadeaway shot from Gear won't go. And crashing in on the weak side, it's Austin Howell with another board. 14:35 to go in the first half. 11-6 Moorpark. The drive and the finish from Richard Thomas.
Moorpark just really aggressive, coming out, driving, getting good shots.
And they're finding lanes. Back out to Bauer. He's trying to find a way inside. Zone collapses on him. Back out into the corner. It's a Wall for a 3. In and out won't go. Knocked out long. And the race of the ball. Bauer with a good position is able to get it away from Thomas. Bauer with the dish. Hartshorn, the finish isn't there, but Pedrosa's there. He won't go. And Hartshorn moved in such a way that he could not have done without an external force.
Yeah.
And in that case, the external force was Richard Thomas, I believe, or is it going to be Cheyenne Bowler is going to get called for that one?
Yeah, they were pretty well wrapped up there. That was definitely a mismatch.
Couple subs coming in. Gerald Harris, number 1, and Steven Saxa, number 44. Austin Howell, one of the folks, taking a seat, and the 3 from the corner is good from Oscar Pedrosa for not the first and probably not the last time on this court. He's got 7, and the Cougars back within 4 as we go into the 14-minute mark of the first half.
Well, it's good to see an outside shot hit. Maybe that'll open things up in the middle a little bit for him.
Thomas to Smith. His shot from the short corner won't go, and it's pulled in by Bauer. Pushes it up. Pedrosa driving, challenging. Powditch was there.
You see there.
And it looked like he was, from the line, it looks like that he not only the foul, but also possibly his position as far as the circle is concerned. So it's going to be first foul on him and the 3rd on Moorpark.
You can see why Oscar Pedrosa is one of the leading foul shooters in the state. He just goes for it every time. And he'll slice between 2 defenders, 3, whatever. He's a very aggressive player.
Shaquille Moore, number 10, returns for Adrian Powditch, who sits down for the first time. Free throw made by Pedrosa to give him 8 and make it a 1-possession game again. Second one, very smooth and also good. As really, we're about 7 minutes in, he's almost got
really like
double
watching
figures.
him. He plays very emotional, but he's a very skilled player. Be interesting to see if he's latched on to by D1 or 2 basketball program.
Moore nowhere to go, and on the corner, Harris has it taken away by Bauer. Bauer leading the break over to Gual. He'll lean in. No harm, no foul as far as Thomas is concerned. But there is a whistle inside that's going to go against Moorpark, and this is another one against Cheyenne Ballore.
The way the Moorpark bench reacted, I thought it was an offensive foul, but apparently not. Yes. Oh.
Wall, first one. And we have ourselves a tie game. And it's 13-13 with 13-13 to go in the half. That all seems
that means
it's 4 of a kind.
Bye, I'm out of here. I'm off to Vegas.
That works out. You know what? I am this weekend. So,
good.
So I'll take some money for it. The finish goes in there for Richard Thomas. He's got 4 points and gets Moorpark to lead back at 15-13.
They have nice moves around the basket. Quick.
Similar to the Cougars, not a ton of size out there, but a lot of quickness and a really good drive game. Feed on off to Pedroso. He'll take the wing three, and he will make it. He's already in double figures. 12 points unofficially for Oscar Pedroso. And the Cougars had their first lead in a while at 16-15.
We got Questa's outside game against Moorpark's inside game thus far.
Moore will take the straightaway three, and he will can it. Shaquille Moore, his first points of the game. And 18-16 now. We're at the 12-20 mark of the first half. Gear. Nothing there. Back out high to Bauer. Pedroso, Bauer. Trying to maneuver inside. Nothing there, but it goes back out to Gear. He'll take the three, and he will make it. Kyle Gear on the board. 6'4" freshman out of Connecticut. And the Cougars take the lead back at 19-18. The finish won't go. Taken away by Bauer from Saxa. Here comes Agual. Finger roll finish. Alex Agual was 6.
I'd say the mask is working.
I think so. Although Moorpark's the Raiders, they should have the mask. Is that their mascot? Doesn't
Yes,
have
that's right.
The masked rider?
I don't think he looks like that.
Yeah.
He looks more like Jason.
It works. Scary to opponents. Shot will not go for Moore. And push up by Pedroso. Little incidental contact. And we'll send it back to Bauer. We're going to have a full-on 4 subs coming up for Moorpark as Gear and Shaquille Moore going forward, and it will be Moorpark ball.
Wholesale substitutions.
Absolutely. We've got Howell, Ballure, and Powditch all coming in. Might have been easier just to say, and more stay.
Yeah.
21-18 in favor of the Cougars. Ballure feeding it down low. Fade away. Powditch, his shot is good. Adrian Powditch, his first shot, and 5 different players have scored for the Raiders in the first 9 minutes of the game. 21-20 Questa, under 11 minutes to go in half number 1. Hartshorn. Here to Pedroso. Fade away, has some space at the elbow. Waited. Maybe waited a little too long. Threw his timing out. Ballure's got the board. Ballure pushing it up at that up-tempo game as Moore's three is smooth, like the first one. Pair of trays for Shaquille Moore. Moorpark in the lead again, 23-21, 10.5 to go in the first half.
Moorpark's really balanced. They have a lot of good shooters, good speed. Don't seem like they go to one person particularly a lot.
Well, long three won't go. And again, very diversified scoring for Moorpark, where for the Cougars it's been centered around Pedroso and Agual with the Gear on the board. Mohamed Ali Benamar, the sophomore from Tunisia, one of the 4 sophomores honored before the game, coming in along with another one of the sophomores from Russia, Dmitry Utolin. Hartshorn will have a seat along with Gear.
This is a strong rebounding unit.
A lot more size with Benamar at 6'8", and Utolin at 6'7". Shot off the mark by Powell and pulled in by Utolin.
Lose some speed here, but they definitely get some strength on the inside.
Looking possibly for some positive matchups as Bauer will take his first shot. It's a tray, and it is good from the wing for Valentin Bauer from Austria.
What is that, about 3 or 4 threes so far?
Inside, and another strong finish. Austin Howell, always near the hoop, has 6 points. Freshman out of Grand Rapids. 25-24 Moorpark. 9.5 to go in the first half. Utolin, nothing there, feeds over to Pedroso, trying to come in. Contact fade away on Moore. The shot, will it go? Will it count?
Remy McCarthy pleading this case.
And it will be for Pedroso and 1. Second foul is on Shaquille Moore, and the 5th team foul for Moorpark, just 1 on the Cougars, which is on Hartshorn. So Pedroso looking to perhaps finish off a classic 3-point play.
The way it's supposed to be done.
Free throw won't go, but Benamar, big offensive rebound. Showing his size and his strength, Pedroso. Faking, dishing out, wide open. Utolin in the corner, won't go. Benamar fighting for that weak side rebound, able to get that away from Howell, then tied up for a moment with Powell. Nice move to escape and slam! Mohamed Ali Benamar.
Unexpected source. He just took that ball and powered it to the rim.
He decided to get away, and while he got away, he finished emphatically. 28-25 Cougars, under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Ballure going down low. Benamar slapping away, loose ball. And it's getting a little feisty as Pedrosa comes up with it, and his foul. That's going to be the 6th foul. Remy McCarthy, as you might expect, is not pleased. As the first foul on Austin Howell. Remember, Howell is 21, Powell is 2. Bauer to bring it up, 3-point lead for the Cougars, and it's bonus for the Cougars the rest of the way. Benamar in the post, back out. Utolan, open wing, Powditch late, shot won't go, rebound Ballure. Ballure spin move. Powditch back to Moore, who's shown an excellent stroke from outside.
Coach McCarthy is having a vigorous discussion with the officials.
He is. Powditch, the shot in and out won't go. Utolan got the rebound, able to get position on Howell. Pushed up to Pedroso. About 8 minutes to go in the first half. Cougars up by 3. Been a back and forth game in all senses of the word. Very up-tempo from Moorpark. Yep.
Good spectator.
Cougars, though, have made some good adjustments. Into the corner, Agual for the 3. 9 for Alex Agual. Cougars' biggest lead at 31-25.
The man should have been wearing that mask all year long. I think it's magic.
He may keep it. If it's working. Ballure. Shot won't go, but he was fouled. It's going to be just the second Cougar team foul. 2-6 for Moorpark.
He sure has a motor. He's nonstop. Very impressive player.
Been able to do a lot of things already in the first half. Foul is on Alex Agual, his first. Ballure, first one a little too strong. Richard Thomas and Spencer Smith, 11 and 12 respectively, in once again replacing Powell and Powditch. There's Powell, there's Howell, and there's Powditch.
Yeah.
Just got to keep them all straight. Ballure at the line for his second. 7:37 to go in the half, 31-25. In and out. Oh, missed both. Benamar with the rebound.
What was the score of their first game? Do you have that handy?
I do. It's 71-65 Moorpark.
Yeah. Looks like they're headed in that direction for this one, too.
Pedroso almost losing on the baseline. Send it back to Agual. 15 to shoot. We're going to break down Ballure with the help of a pick possibly from Benamar, but Hal came over to break up the party. Pedroso has it, 7 to shoot, extra long 3. Said, yeah, I'll take it from here. Sure. It's in his home gym, he said. Shot for this spot all the time. I'll just shoot it now. Biggest Cougar lead, 34-25, 7-minute mark. And with that run, Rennie McCarthy is going to call a timeout.
Very light pound, celebration on his chest for Oscar, who's having a very nice night.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the adjustments that Rusty Blair's made. Called that timeout early when the 6 quick points happened for Moorpark. Got a little more motion in the offense, but really then went to that shift where it was able to play Utolan and Benamar off the bench again, create some mismatches, especially for height, but just the strength of Benamar in there that really he's been a difference maker.
That's right. He went right in and got 3 or 4 rebounds, made it pass, and then he made that resounding dunk that brought the house down. Just kind of a semi-slow motion dunk, but he got it done. It was a great play. It ignited the crowd and the team, and the big thing is Questa's really starting to drop him in from the outside, and hopefully that opens the inside up a bit. So
yeah, and I would think also too that the fact that they're challenging more inside where before they were kind of collapsing on them, that's now kind of forcing them to play the inside. And again, as you would figure, that's going to open up the outside. It's kind of, if you have two threats, it's much easier, and something's going to open up for
Right. Well, with the 2 bigs, Dimitri and Benamar, and then you add Brett. They've got some size. They can deal on the boards pretty well with that group. Beck, Benamar, and Dimitri are still in there. And,
Richard Thomas on the outside. We're under 7 minutes to go in the half, and the Cougars up by 9. Shaquille Moore trying to escape Utolan, unsuccessful so far. Still unsuccessful. We'll give it up to Howell. Howell back up high to Smith. Thomas, 8 to shoot. He will push up a 3, and with a little bit of bank, it's going to go in for Richard Thomas. He's got 7.
Keeping it tight. Moorpark's mainly going inside, but they show some capability of hitting the outside shot also.
And the Cougars with much of Europe represented on the floor right now. Benamar, also from Tunisia, from the continent of Africa, is straight away for an interesting shot, won't go. It is pulled down by Thomas.
That's probably a tad out of Benamar's range.
It was. Oh, nice finish this time from Thomas after the bank 3. Just raced in and put that hard off the glass. 5 back-to-back points has knocked the Cougar lead down to 4 with 5:53 to go in the half at 34-30. Benamar sees the spot, dishes it back out. Utolan took an extra step to get Smith airborne and will turn it over. Meanwhile, for the first time, we will see another one of the 4 sophomores. That's Ellis Gibson. We've already seen Pedroso, Utolan, and Benamar. So he will come in, and Bauer will get a break
Ellis
at the
is
point.
A great defensive player, and they're bringing him in to try to stop this penetration because Questa's a bit flat-footed, and maybe this is a little bit of a slower lineup in there. So he gives them speed, and he will challenge the dribbler.
Yeah, we're in 0 out of Bakersfield Stockdale High School, going strong to the hoop as he always does. Austin Howell, who drew the foul. 3rd foul on the Cougars.
Sean, come here.
And it's the first one on Dimitri Utolan. So Ballure and Thomas coming back to the backcourt right now to talk with Remy McCarthy. Meanwhile, the first free throw from Howell got there, but was unsuccessful. 5:30 to go in the half, and it's a 4-point game. Cougars have led by as many as 9. Second one will not go. And
this is important 5 minutes now here to see if Questa can enhance their lead a little bit.
Gibson back out, and it is a 3 in and out for Pedroso, pulled down by Howell. 5:10 to go in the half. Moorpark bringing it up, down 4. More little creativity. That drew a whistle.
They called that kicking the ball. I think that was a break from Moorpark. To my experience eyes, it looked more like a travel or illegal dribble.
It did.
And that's apparently the call.
And the end result is pretty much the same.
Yes.
Gibson brings it up. Slowing the tempo down just a bit. And Cougars with that size on the court still with Benamar and Utolan. Utolan's got it right now. Got to pick out some space. Cleared out by Benamar and was able to finish. First points for Dimitri Utolan, 36-30.
Good to see him moving well.
Thomas looking for somebody. Finds Ballure eventually. 4.5 to go in the half. 2-possession game with Cougars up 6. Ballure playing a little out of control. Threw it in the general direction of the basket. Almost went in. Pulled down by Benamar. Pedroso working on Shaquille Moore. Will send it back up top to Gibson. 4:15 to go in the half.
It's good to see Dimitri playing well. I mean, he's been injury plagued.
He has. Utolan and to Benamar looking to finish. Couldn't quite get the jam and was hoping for an adjusted shot. It wouldn't go and partially deflected, looked like by Howell. Moore up top. Going right down the lane is Smith, knocked away by Benamar. Gibson pushing it up. Lost control for a moment. Got it back. Gibson. He's got dribbling a lot, looking for somebody to go to.
Yeah.
It was deflected out of bounds by Thomas. Steven Saxa in out of Oaks Christian, 6'6", 230. And he will give Austin Howell a breather with 3:45 to go in the half.
Supposed to dribble to get from point A to point B. You can't dribble through people at any level.
I was watching the Olympics. You know, they got the slalom. What's going on right now?
Yes.
Oh. Pedroso not quite with the finish. Had an early 17 here in the first half. Pass is wild in the general direction of Smith, and will go back over the Cougars with 3:32 to go in the half, 36-30.
Again, right now, neither team seizing the moment here to close out the first half on a bit of a run.
Cougars, yeah, had that run when Benamar and Utolan came in, but then a couple quick baskets and Moorpark was able to kind of hang around.
Yep. They are indeed doing that. But this has been it's been an effective lineup for them, not probably as strong defensively.
McGuall straightaway three is good after a bit of a silence. 12 points now for Alex McGuall unofficially. 39-30 ties the Cougars' biggest lead. Ball deflected out of bounds as McGuall goes into the scorer's table.
He's an experienced scorer. He just wheeled right out of there before the damage was done, obviously.
Shaquille Mork has also been quiet for a while. Out to Ballure. Ballure looking for the drive game. Cut off now. This has been more of an interior presence. The shot from Sashko is blocked away. But also a foul committed at the time by Muhammad Ali Benamar. That is his first and the Cougars' fourth.
Physical game, but the refs are letting them play. That's for sure tonight.
Yeah, they rattled off those 6 quick fouls against Moorpark, but none for a while.
Yep. There's a lot of contact out there, though. Believe me. I mean,
yeah, they are letting them play. You're absolutely right about that. Saxa, first one, is good, and that is his first point.
Moorpark playing a lot of players tonight, too. 8 to 10 players, and Questa also.
Saxa's second one won't go.
So fatigue, probably will not be a factor tonight.
It seems like Moorpark has a lot of guards to go through and be able to maintain that tempo. Utolan ball fake to Smith, ball deflected, goes right to Gibson. We saw got a Ballure lurking there, so didn't give it to Okwal just then. Pedroso, lob down to the low post. Benamar skips on over. Gibson won't go. Got it back, couldn't get it. Utolan's trying to get a hand on it, but Smith eventually controls it near the baseline.
No, 3 cracks at it, didn't drop.
8-point game with 2:20 to go in the half.
Gibson primarily was a shooting guard, but
Saxa lost it and then went back with no trajectory, but it went right in.
Right. Being asked to play a lot of point guard. Set up.
39-33. Coming up on the 2-minute mark now of the first half. Ball curls out to take the feed, and Benamar sending it right back down low. Pedroso able to come up with it, but not cleanly. Leans in, shot won't go. Pedroso, that hot start and nothing else for a while.
I like the effort, though. Those will fall.
Well, you're definitely seeing Moorpark starting to head into the lane like they were earlier, and all of a sudden they see Benamar, and the course gets altered.
Right.
Although that is going to be the second on Benamar and the 5th on the Cougars.
It's one way to do it is attack the big man, make him make a play, and make him get fouls. So wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Blair shift back to maybe a smaller, better defensive lineup.
Or first one will not go. In for the first time, Alejandro Horta, 6'4" freshman out of Spain. And he will replace his countryman Agual. Still a 6-point game with 1:37 to go in the half. And number 2 is good for Morris. First point in a while. He has 7. Powdage back in and replaces him.
Okay, 90 seconds left. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Questa can up the lead slightly, or at least
Horton.
Hold it.
And then number 10. Gibson stepping back. Pedrosa swings it around to Benamar. 15 to shoot. Cougars being deliberate with 1:15 to go in the half. And a hop, skip, and a 3 for Ellis Gibson. His first points.
First shot, not bad. 3 points.
Good percentage, 42-34.
He is a very good shooting guard.
Thomas doesn't get it. Utolan coming out, spinning and pushing it up the court in a big hurry. Feeding Pedroso coming on the drive, and he was fouled. He will go to the line with 54.4 seconds to go in the half. First foul on Richard Thomas. That's also the 7th, but a shooting foul anyway.
Right. Once again, Oscar, the free throw shooter, steps to the line. I don't know what his stats are this year in state, but I think he led last year in free throw attempts. Something
was
like
up there.
400 or something ridiculous.
And he is the leading scorer, averaging 18 a game for the Cougars. And with 54 seconds to go in the first half, he has 18.
Very good.
So it's an average game for him.
Good start, average game, yeah.
Well, if he stopped now, it would be an average game.
Yes,
exactly. Jared Harris, number 1, returns for Richard Thomas.
He's approaching the 1,000 point mark, too. Getting very close. I think he needs 33 points, and he's like halfway there or over.
And I believe we now have our first double-digit lead as well at 44-34. Pedrosa with 19. Unofficial. Buller in the front court. Almost lost that ball, slapped away. Control, not a word I would use to describe that sequence. And a whistle ultimately on Ellis Gibson.
Bit of a scrum.
There's that too. 16 foul, 42.3 seconds to go in the half. Also be a nice lift for the Cougars with the slow start to potentially go in the locker room with a double-digit lead.
We have to watch. They've been really pretty good, solid first half team. We just have to watch that little lull the first 3 or 4 minutes, start the second half. Make sure they keep the
Harris going
pedal
inside.
to the middle.
Won't get it. Pedrosa with it. Shot clock off with under 30 seconds to go in the half. And Gibson will walk it up for a last shot. 10-point lead for the Cougars. And barring a significant mishap, we'll have that halftime lead. And we were talking about, however, there's a technical foul just called on Remy McCarthy.
Oh, I wasn't cursing you, I was cursing. God, you know what?
I see, and the key distinction that Remy McCarthy made at the referee was, I was not cursing at you, I was cursing.
That's what you're acting like right now. No way I deserve
Whatever that means.
Yeah, so I think what he's saying is, apparently you have to have some applied direction applied to the cursing. Intent, apparently.
I wasn't cursing him. Besides that, you guys missed that.
Hartshorn?
He's definitely getting his money's worth.
Well, well, especially if this is going to be his last game.
Yes, right.
He's just not somebody who strikes me will go down quietly. I've seen him coach before, a very animated, very vocal coach.
Well, he's personally introducing himself to all 3 officials after that tech to make sure they all understand what was on his mind.
And message barely received. Coming up on about 10 seconds to go in the half, Pedrosa. Looks like he'll take it the rest of the way with an 11-point lead. Now he's going to dish off to Utolin. 6 seconds left. Utolin switching to the left hand and finishes.
That was pretty.
4 points for Dimitri Utolin. Watch at the buzzer and hitting the glass, Gerald Harris, but that will do it
Job
for
well
the first half.
Job well done. That was a very steady half. They were a little flat in moments, but they put up 47 against a reputable defensive team. And I think Moorpark's a little bit disjointed right now. Their coach is definitely upset, and that often gets passed on to the kids.
Yeah. Well, I think that initial game that they had going in, where they were able to attack inside, they were finding lanes, they were getting really high-quality shots that the Cougars, especially with size, were able to disrupt that a bit, and they've had to adjust, settle a little bit more for some of those outside shots. And like you said, that's really more Questa's game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there are a couple schools of thoughts on getting a technical foul. Sometimes you do that strategically to fire your team up, and sometimes that works. But when you're close to a single-digit lead going into the last few seconds of the first half, and you get a technical foul and it's a 3-point turnaround, that can have the opposite effect. It takes you down rather than building you up. You want to end up on momentum in your court, in your favor, and when you get a technical, that's giving up 2 to 4 points, and that really hurts.
Or it's the terminology, but in this case applied to the coach, it's a frustration foul.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
At the half, it is 47-34 in favor of the Cougars. I'm Randy Scoville, he's Jim Battersby. We will take a break, and we'll be back with the second half after this on Questa TV.
Okay.
Questa.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Questa College right now. Log on to Questa.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot. Blowing it, bro.
Questa.edu.
And we're getting ready for the start of the second half here at Cuesta Gym. Halftime score is 47-34 in favor of the Cougars. They're trying for the 21st win of the season, but also, more importantly, another Western State Conference North championship and playoff seeding, as you've talked about. Cougars in the first half. A little bit of a slow start. Some nice adjustments, though, by Rusty Blair, running off a lot of points and end the half with their biggest lead.
Yes, that was a nice surge. It was sparked a little bit by technical on Coach Remy from Moorpark, and able Questa to get 3 points as the time clicked off the clock there at the end of the second quarter. So it looks like Moorpark ball. Let's go with the second half.
And it will be Powditch to inbound to Cheyenne Ballure for Moorpark. Going in the opposite direction as you would expect this half. Howell with a handoff to Ballure. Quickly double team Hartshorn, able to knock the ball loose and comes up with a clean over to Gual, and now Bauer will bring it up.
Okay, took the bigs out. They're still pretty big, but Benamar and Dimitri are out to start the second half.
It's the starting line from the first half with Gear, who has the ball right now, driving to the left side. Left hand will go, pulled down by Shaquille Moore, along with Oscar Pedroso, Brett Hartshorn, Valentin Bauer, Alex Agual on the court for the Cougars, and it appears to be the same starting five for the Raiders as well, as the shot hit off the glass and Hartshorn has it. That's Powell, Moore, Howell, Ballure, and Powditch for Moorpark. Agual into the corner, the three will not go. Hartshorn, good position on Howell, got the rebound and the finish. First field goal for Brett Hartshorn. He's got three unofficially. Minute into the second half.
Right.
Powditch turnaround shot won't go, knocked out from the weak side by Hartshorn. Agual pushing it up to Gear. Back over to Agual, some unintended contact from Cheyenne Ballure, his third foul.
I'm a very strong believer the first 5 minutes of the second half are critical. Often the difference between a game being close and some distance being put between teams and discouragement taken over and so forth. So let's see what happens.
Pedroso, a little miscommunication, and Gear, the intended recipient, doesn't get it. Instead, the pick on the play by Powditch. Moore palmed it, and we'll turn it over. Cougars have with their biggest lead 15, 90 seconds into the half, and again, part of that opening 5 minutes Jim just talked about.
Palming or carrying the ball it's evolved so much over the years. I'm not sure anymore what it really is. It's basically, I guess, bringing your hand under the ball, but some officials call it more tightly than others.
Valentin Bauer, very patient, waited for his spot underneath the basket and laid it in with the left hand. He now has 5 points. The Cougars' lead only grows to 17. Ball punched out by Agual as they were sending it out high. Shot clock stays at 27. Powditch will inbounds in front of his bench.
Agual looks kind of intimidating in that mask. Dark, glaring eyes.
It's got a defensive intensity look about it.
Yes, he does. Mike Singletary, looking through the mask.
Long two for Shaquille Moore, who has 9 points, and we're going to have a line change coming up in a second for.
Did you say line change?
Yeah, line change.
Mr.
Well, there's
Hockey
four of them. Well, yeah. 'Tis the season. No, anytime you got three or more coming over the boards.
Right.
It'd be nice if you had a live substitution. Make it that much more interesting. Hartshorn shot won't go. It's knocked out long. The last touch by Moorpark. It'll stay Questa ball with a new 35. 17:33 to go. And the Cougars up by 15. Thomas Harris Smith and also Saxa coming in, and Moore will be the lone Raider who will remain. And it will now be Moorpark bringing it up. Thomas in the front court. Again, one of those 4 players who just came in. Saxa trying to set a pick on Bauer, who's able to work around it. Powditch down low. Saxa against Hartshorn. As the matchup he likes, goes off the glass, won't go. Got his own, though. And a whistle inside.
Coach McCarthy having a chat with one of his players, rather animated. He's getting his full money's worth. Whether this is his final game or not, don't know.
Second foul on, no, it is actually the first team foul on the Cougars. Check that. And the first on Valentin Bauer. Thomas into the short corner. Saxo will decide to pull up for the jumper. Will not go. Flying in for the rebound is Gual. Gear given some space by Smith, but is not going to go for it.
Not known for his three-point shooting. More of an inside guy.
Not taking advantage
Although
of the cushion.
He hit one earlier.
Yeah. Up top, Pedroso. Going around Powditch. Ball fake. Shot won't go. Gear inside got the rebound. Fouled hard. And we'll head to the line. Foul on Spencer Smith. That's his first, and should be the second team foul on Moorpark, and it is.
Moorpark actually has a losing record, although they're 5-5 in the conference.
Gear first one. Nothing but net, and point number 4 for Gear pushes the Cougar lead back to 16 with 16:42 to go. Second one a little bit off the mark, though. Offensive rebound looked like Pedroso had it. Knocked out of bounds, and the Cougars will retain possession.
The drama on the bench is almost distracting from the game over here, so let me focus here. Questa doing what they should be doing in terms of taking charge of this game and holding their home court.
Hartshorn. Shot for the corner will go. Offensive rebound. Gear put back, no good, but again will go to the line. Fighting hard inside. And another one on Spencer Smith. 3 team fouls. And again, there's a little bit of that drama that Jim's talking about.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully there's a language filter on there because he's using some colorful metaphors,
as the saying sometimes goes. First one, no good from Kyle Gear. As you can see, from Bridgeport, Connecticut. An out-of-state player for the Cougars. Actually, technically, depending on how you look at it, the Cougars have many out-of-state players, many out-of-continent players. Thomas has it slapped away. Here comes Gear, and the Mustangs the Cougars rather on a break with 4 as the ball knocked away, and it's Gerald Harris. Thomas, ball deflected, foul on Questa. It'll be the second foul, and it's going to be on Valentin Bauer, who has both the fouls this half.
I don't know if it's my place to comment, but the sideshow is probably detracting from the quality of play of the Moorpark Raiders.
First one by Thomas is good. But you're saying it's providing some entertainment value? Well, for you at least, it seems.
I'm distracted by it, so I can imagine.
So again, so it is a bit of a sideshow. So the second one is not good, pulled down by Gear. 16:06 to go in this one. Cougars up by 16, 53-37. Looking for win number 21 and a Western State Conference North championship. It's a little bit short for an alley-oop, but Gear was there. Cougars unable to convert. Bauer tapped it, and both play. Thomas and Agual going for it. Both collided going for the ball.
That knocked the mask clean off of Agual. It was a block.
Both players converging on the ball, and it will be Moorpark ball.
That was a bang play, but I really believe his path was cut off by the defender. That was quite a shot. That was a clash of the Titans out there. I could feel that in my bones.
The reverberations,
The
carried all the way over to here.
Absolutely.
Richard Thomas, sophomore from Ventura. We're going to drive the lane, going to the left hand, high off the glass. It won't go. Knocked out long, and Gears got it.
Well, the first 5 minutes or so, Questa's had added to their lead a little bit. So let's see if Moorpark's got a response left.
Hartshorn, a whistle as he drives in. So we got a little bit more till we get 5 minutes in. Cougars led at the half by 13, 47 to 34. So far outscored Moorpark 6-3 in these first 4.5 minutes. Hartshorn to the line, and the foul's on Saxa, his first, and the fourth on Moorpark.
Kind of like the beginning of the game was very low scoring.
It was.
8-4, 8-6.
Mm-hmm. Changes were made, and we got a different kind of game.
I like the way Coach Blair used his bench, or has been using his bench. The man's got 22 years of experience, so he's got it pretty well figured out right now.
55-37, I believe that is the Cougars' biggest lead at 18.
He has over 400 wins, 413, I think, and that's...
Yeah, Saxon with a nice turnaround move, and Bauer the rebound.
Student of the game, Rusty sure is.
And the 3-0, Igual, quite excited about that one. That gives him 15 points. Alex Igual, who's the Cougars' leading scorer in the last matchup with Moorpark, at 18, 15 already here. And the Cougars now make it more than a 20-point lead at 21. Fadeaway shot will go for Jarrell Harris. Saxa with a putback. It won't go. Hartshorn pulls down the board and outlets it to Igual.
Yeah.
And Igual going a little too high with it.
Well, got a little retribution from that hard foul by making a nice shot there.
Yeah. Austin Howell, number 21. Returning to the game, Spencer Smith sits down with 14:37 to go. Thomas in the front court. Looked at Howell being fronted by Gear. Flicked it out of bounds. Still Moorpark ball with 24 to shoot.
No, it's Questa's ball. It was off of Moorpark, apparently. Well,
again, I think there's some discussion here. Yeah. It is going to be Moorpark ball. Cheyenne Ballure returns, and Thomas will sit down.
I didn't see that. Just like my refereeing career, I just took a guess. You know, that's how it works.
It kind of all balanced out.
Yeah. No.
You played the law of averages and evened out.
Yeah. I was right half the time.
Exactly. Well, depending on which team was watching
exactly.
you hope that they liked you 50. Yes, they like you 50% of the time. Another hard foul taken by Kyle Gear coming baseline.
Let's not have that. This game needs to just play out.
Sox's second foul. Fifth team foul on the Raiders. Raiders, as Jim mentioned, coming with a losing record 9-13, but 5-5 in the Western State Conference North. Coming into tonight as Gear makes it, and 6 points.
They own a win over us, so
they do
down there. So they must be a pretty tough home club.
One of just two teams to beat the Cougars this year. Cougars swept Ventura, half game behind going into tonight at 8-2. Gear makes them both. The Canyons at 6-4, Hancock and Moorpark at 5-5, Pierce at 3-8, and Santa Barbara City has yet to win a league game. Saxa has it knocked away, but also some contact on the arm on Hartshorn. That will be his second. Fourth team foul.
So Hancock's still viable too in the playoffs. It appears at 5-5 they could find a way into.
Yeah, Ventura, the only team just a little bit more than a little bit over 500 at this point, at 15-11 coming in. And Cougars could get win number 21 tonight. Canyons is 12-11, and Hancock, like you were talking about, 14-13, but definitely may find themselves in a play-in game.
Yes. They have some talent, no doubt.
Saxa, and racks up another point.
They have new coaching out there. They have young coaches, so and they're dedicated to bringing the program around.
Well, it's under the 14-minute mark, and the Cougars up by 22 with the ball. Igual high energy dribbling here, and Pedroso. And Cougars sharing the ball on the perimeter. Hartshorn going around. Saxa is going to commit another foul. I believe that would be number 3. And it is.
This is the point in the game that from now on we got to make sure we don't get into early garbage time and cheap shot time. And Questa would have everything to lose in a situation like that. That's just a little sensitivity on my part. I've seen it happen. Games can get out of hand, get ugly, and Questa is laying the leather to him. So hope the refs will stay on it.
Hartshorn makes them both a 24-point lead, 13:36 to go, 62-38. Again, we'll probably be seeing some substitutions soon. Yeah, Moorpark can't put something together right here as Ballure has it knocked away, and Gear pushes it up to Pedroso. Hartshorn was open, but Pedroso didn't see him in time. Bauer.
Igual caught an elbow in his plastic mask. I think it shocked the guy that threw the elbow.
Gear, and easy layup for Hartshorn, 9 unofficially. And the Cougars continuing to add to that lead.
They've doubled their lead.
Harris, and it's picked off by Gear, running the court, lobbing it ahead to Igual, trying to finish, but was fouled.
You know what I hate to see? I mean, that wasn't a particularly rough foul, but there was really no attempt to block it with his arms or anything. It was more of a hip check. And that can be very dangerous, especially if you start hitting below the hip.
Third foul on Ballure. As Smith will come in, replacing Powditch. Just a tick under 13 minutes to go. J.R. Powell is also set to return. And it will be Harris coming out with Powell coming in. And Ballure to bring it up. He was playing with a lot of energy at the beginning of the game. It was very creative, but Ballure's been quiet for a while.
They've been deadly silent.
Howell
stuck on 38 for quite a while. There's 2.
And puts it in there. Howell, who had 6 early points, now with 8. And 6 points so far for Moorpark in this half, as opposed to 19 for the Cougars.
What you like to see is the ball go in the basket, so there's not.
Ball almost had a long rebound. Powell has it. Slapped away by Igual on the court. Howell's got it, though. He'll lean in, off the glass, won't go, flying in. Saxa. Was it knocked away and a foul on Hartshorn.
Still playing hard.
Yep.
A couple players, 44 playing hard, physical, 21 playing hard.
Third foul on Bauer. They've all come in this half. 5 fouls on the Cougars, 7 on the Raiders, as Saxa back at the line.
You have to realize these guys have been together probably for 8 months, so this is, you know, things wear a little thin after a while, especially if you aren't super successful. And
you know that this is going to be your last game together.
Right.
Saxa unable to make either one. Pedroso, though, falling down, was able to knock it up to Bauer. Coming up on the 12-minute mark, as Mohammed Ali Benamar, who had definitely a spark plug effect in the first half, is going to return for the Cougars for the first time in this half. Bauer, nice reverse move and a finish. Valentin Bauer, 7 points and 1.
This was not exactly a win-one for the Gipper night in Coach McCarthy's final game here.
Benamar coming in, and Hartshorn will have a seat. And a timeout.
Long evening.
A short timeout called by Coach Raymond McCarthy for Moorpark. At this point, you were talking about the way the seating could go depending on how things play out for the Cougars. You know, they're coming in, they were 9th. But again, we've seen some interesting things through the seating, especially right around that 8-9 territory
right.
over the years. And the fact that, you know, they're going to end today, other folks are still going to be in action the rest of the week. So it helps that, you know, they wrap up early. But as far as seeding, do you see some potential they have a good chance of hosting?
Right. Definitely first round for sure. Pete Schuler puts it really well. There's a popularity poll, and then there's the actual RPI, and the RPI is where the rubber meets the road, and that determines the seeds.
And Bauer finishes the three-point play. Well, also, it's nice that they're posting the RPI online.
Yes.
This year, along with all the other sites. Yes. And we have to commend the CCCAA. They've done a marvelous job with the stats and all the information this year. In fact, I know talking with Mike Moreno, who did the women's game with you, he was just very impressed and saw all the changes that they'd made this year. And I've certainly been following it all year. As Powell unable to finish, and Bowers got the rebound. 29-point game. We still have 11:25 to play.
You and Mike are statistical wizards. You know, that's.
Bauer decides he will launch a three, and that appeared to be a good decision. Just knocked it down, left open. Bauer, who was fairly quiet first half, was really exploding in the second half. He's got 11 points, and the Cougars lead over 30 now, as the Cougars looking to avenge that loss at Moorpark back on January the 25th. Howell has it knocked away. Gets it back, though. Runs strong to the hoop. Contact, no whistle, no contact. They're just going for it now, as both Powell and Bauer diving for it out of bounds.
This is turning into a little bit of adult recreation.
It
basketball.
is. Yeah, rec league. It does. It does have a rec league feel to it. Saxa facing off against Benamar. Will go baseline, trying for the reverse. It won't go, and a whistle. So after all that, we didn't have a lot in the form of whistles, and then we have one very quickly. That's going to be the third one, I believe, on Benamar.
The officials have to take control. Here's the thing, Randy. When you have a point spread like this, everybody kind of wants to get the game over, so you might turn your head a little bit and let them bang a little more. The problem with that is when you start bumping into each other, then the tempers flare and you can have problems. So,
and it can escalate very quickly.
Right. So they should call fouls. That's the name of the game, regardless of the score.
Saxa makes the free throw, and sixth team foul. The Cougars third on Benamar. There's 8 on Moorpark. We've got 10:50 to go. And Shaquille Moore, who was part of, I guess you would say, the entertainment earlier on the bench, was coming over to McCarthy. Yeah. And after a very brief exchange of words with Coach McCarthy, sat down again.
Yes.
30-point game, Benamar.
I think he was asking the coach, do you remember what we were fighting about?
Yeah.
Can I play now, please?
Can I play this year?
Yes.
Benamar going in. The flying hook shot will not go. Knocked out long, and Bowers got it. Powdage set to return for Moorpark as we're at the 10:18 mark. Gear.
Questa,
and Pedrosa.
Very deliberate offense. That's good. Yeah, keep the clock moving.
Gear will pull up long two for the wing, and it's good. Kyle Gear, 9 points unofficially.
Yep. He's high percentage tonight for him.
Alex Iguala about to get up close and personal with Jim after being a little up close and personal with Ballur.
Alex, forget it.
Iguala starting to get a little worked up.
A little minor taunting.
Calm down. And Dimitri Tolan coming in, and Rusty Ballur, and I think it's probably a pretty good move to keep things from potentially getting out of hand. We'll let Iguala take a seat and cool down for a bit, which may or may not last 9:59.
Well, Cheyenne taunted.
Yeah. And Ballur made one there after the 7th team foul, and the third one for McGuall.
You know, our team, of course, has many. It's a multilingual team, but they certainly understand. Taunting is an international language.
Yes, it is. Benamar holds the ball out, but lost it. Trying to get ready for a big sweeping move. Howell has it. Ballur trying to finish it high off the glass. It won't go. Knocked out long by Tolan. Bowers got it, leading Gear in front of everybody. He will. One-hand jam. Kyle Gear with a breakaway and gets into double figures.
Bringing the fans out of their seat. That's 2 dunks. Benamar earlier.
Absolutely. So we got one in each half. Ballure. Howell.
They're not
Travel trying to get around Benamar.
They're not exactly Phi Slamma Jamma, but they're a couple dunks are always nice.
Yeah. Harrison Thomas coming in, and Ballure and Powell coming out.
I don't know if you watched the All-Star game the other night, but that was a dunk fest. I think Blake Griffin had 16 points on 8 dunks in the first 5 minutes or something.
But no cars were involved?
No cars.
Okay.
No. Hey, he got a good gig out of that. He's selling.
You know he
those,
did.
baby.
It's called brand identity. Pass intercepted by Saxa with 8:55 to go. Thomas, strong bounce pass off the court. Pedroso got a little piece of it. And then Powditch did not deflect it, so it will stay Moorpark ball with 30 to shoot. Benamar coming out and Hartshorn back in. Mutolin's on the court as well, as along with Gear, Bauer, and Pedroso. Powditch out there along with Saxa, Thomas, Howell, and Harris for Moorpark.
Got a little roll.
And then Powditch, his second bucket.
Let's keep the ball going in. That's the fun part of the game. Oh, there's a nice steal.
So things have kind of hung out now around 30 at this point.
Don't say anything, Oscar. Thank you.
Yep. Joel Harris getting the possession back for his team. Thomas stepping up, 8.5 minutes to go. Off the glass won't go. Pulled down by Gears. Had a very busy second half, as is Bauer, who brings it up now.
30-point lead. 8 minutes left.
Gear looking to break down Howell. Back over to Hartshorn, who came back in for Benamar.
What?
And we got 3 seconds
No.
against the Cougars.
There's an old-time call. You don't see much of it anymore. It's 3 seconds.
That was one you always had in your back pocket?
Oh, never.
In for the first time, Rafael Casanova, number 32, freshman out of Spain, one of a trio of Spaniards on this year's Cougar team.
No, it's funny. The bailout call used to be the jump ball because that would, before it was changed to possessions, you could always, if you weren't sure, you at least gave both teams a shot at it.
Yeah. Howell in double figures. Bauer pushing up. We mentioned Casanova coming in for his countryman. Or actually for his fellow Peninsula resident, we should mention. Pedroso's from Portugal, not from Spain.
Bringing on the geography here, like a true educator.
We serve to enlighten and potentially entertain, and educate. We do a lot of that here at Questa. Talked a lot about that with Gil Stork between the games. Always good to see him.
Good news here on accreditation. We're finally
good.
Clean.
Yes, a lot of the various work. In fact, I was telling him I was doing some of that before the game.
Is that right?
That's
well,
right, because you know what?
Okay.
Now that the accreditation is done, we're starting a brand new cycle.
That's right.
So we're
6
already
months,
underway
I
on the
think,
next one.
Get a 6-month break,
doesn't go.
and then you got to get back at it.
Well, a lot of work done by everybody on campus. Faculty made a large contribution to that. A shot launched, and we'll by Hartshorn. Got a lot of things coming up, especially this fall with the Questa Promise.
Yes,
do some great largesse from local donors, with several $1 million to help county students go for free their first semester.
Yeah, that was great, and there's going to be a bond issue sooner or later. And one of the things they really need to address is this gym right here.
Yep.
This is floor is old, and banners are old, and we need to invest some money in this old house.
Yeah, the shot is good for Harris. Yeah, I teach actually one of the newer buildings on campus, and that was built 12 years ago. But people realize a lot of the heavy use buildings are over 40 years old on the campus,
yes,
and definitely need, shall we say, more than a little touching up. But
if you look
people have carried on well with them. And
right. If you look at neighboring Hancock, they did a renovation of their gym, and it really looks good. Looks like a brand new gym. Floors are $500,000, and that, that's just the beginning. So,
well, timeout with 6:40 to go. It's to a 28-point ball game again. Be on the lookout, because if we do have home playoff games, men or women, your schedule permitting, we'll be here.
I hope so.
I'd love to do another game with you.
My schedule will permit, pretty much.
Well, you're a busy guy. You do a lot in the community. People may not be aware. Jim is the president of the Cuesta Booster Club, which you've been for quite a while. You're very active coaching
3 years now. Yeah.
Coaching youth sports. Currently 5CYB, where I've run up against.
Won a thriller last night. Well,
Well, they all were the powerhouse teams that I faced you with 3 years ago.
Oh yeah,
was that the apex of the Battersby career?
Yeah, I think it was one of my apexes. I got a couple people like Emma Weinrich and Lindsay Wolf that went on. Emma's playing at Hancock now and is got a full ride to Southern Utah.
That's great.
She gets her academics straightened out. And it's just good to see them. And then I have a group of girls that won 2 years ago, and they're now at Judkins. And it's not easy up there. They're finding that there's some good teams coming out of Los Osos and Laguna and other places. So, but it's fun to watch them grow.
Gear to inbound, 18 to shoot. 28-point ball game, 6:40 to go. Ellis Gibson 0 back in the game, as is Agual. Joining Hartshorn, Casanova, and Gear, who inbounded it. 6 to shoot. Cougars running the clock down, and Casanova's going to get a 3 attempt, and he will make it. Rafael Casanova from Seville, España.
He's a freshman, so hopefully he'll be back next year.
Good range and some good size at 6'5". Going inside, Powditch. Could not finish, but with the left hand, Saxa does. He pulls in another basket. He's got 7. Again, this Cougar roster featuring folks, again, predominantly from Europe, but also the continent of Africa, and a few folks from the United States, too. McWall can't finish. Gear can't, and it's pulled down. Powditch has another board. 5:45 to go. Fade away from Gerald Harris, and he will draw the contact from Ellis Gibson.
Gibson with a look of astonishment on his face. How could you call that, ref? Was
That's
nowhere
my
near
second
him.
foul.
Right.
First free throw does not go for Harris. And number 25, Danny Tatno, 5'9" freshman from Buena, coming in for the first time, replacing Thomas.
Both teams clearing the bench.
As now everybody is played for Moorpark.
Some people's evenings ended early, I have a hunch.
Yes. Harris, and puts it in. 81-53, 5:40 to go. Cougars looking to close this out and get win number 21 and finish the regular season 10-2 in conference. And with another conference championship for Rusty Blair. Ball knocked away from Agual, and still some defensive intensity that gets some applause from the Moorpark bench. Can continue to play hard, as you've mentioned.
So I believe the draw is on Sunday. We'll know come Sunday evening who's playing who where. We could have either a Saturday night men's game or a Friday night and possibly a Wednesday night women's game here. We'll see how the cookie crumbles.
That'd be a fun week. The 3-watt Hartshorn. And a little bit of everything tonight. You can check off threes on the list as well.
I like him. He's blue collar guy. He really is. Plays tough.
Guy you like to have in the middle.
Yeah.
Lead back over 30. Under 5 minutes to go. And Tartnell trying to flip a shot. Will not go. Gear has it. Tartnell got it right back. Making the most of his time. A little no-look dish over to Harris. Howell. Howell will turn around. Shoot it from the short corner. Won't go. Hartshorn, though, coming in. Working hard and pulling in that board. Hartshorn, 3. Will not go. Well, he figures out made one. I'll try another one.
Yeah, why not?
Sometimes it's a dangerous thing making threes. Yes. They taste like more. Shot won't go for Powditch. Tartnell will let it bounce in front of him. Pulling back, and he'll push a 3 from the corner. Will not go.
Push was the right word for that.
Launched, initiated, yeah. Casanova then for the rebound. Casanova has a 3, and that was almost another one. Out long. And Harris looking to push it up court. Tartnell
This is a nice peaceful pace now. They're both kind of backing off each other, and they've done their hard fouls. And
long three
just
won't
let
go.
it play out.
Wall got the board. In fact, one of just a couple starters still in the game. For Questa as we're at the 3.5 mark. Powditch brings it up, goes around Gear. Got a little contact, finishes with the left hand, got the and one. Blocking foul called on Kyle Gear. In for the first time, Taylor Thompson out of Sonora, 6'9", 225-pound freshman. And Gear will come out. It's also the first foul on Gear.
And Mason McConkey reports for Moorpark, freshman from Ventura. I think it's his first action tonight.
You're right. Now they've got everybody playing. Mason McConkey, 6'5", out of Ventura High School. Casanova coming in and will draw another whistle. The end of this may take a bit.
Yeah.
If current trends are maintained.
Is it still Wednesday? That's my question.
Well, see, McConkey came in and now he's in the scorebook.
There you
Committed
go.
the foul. 10th foul. Casanova, first one won't go. Second one, Igual does not have the mask, but as his
they
nose
should
plugged
try to
in.
make this like the NBA three-point contest. Just kind of back off and let everybody fire away.
Well, Philip Pesic, number 5, is in. He's from Slow, but not San Luis Obispo. That is Slovenia.
Slovenia.
The other Slow.
You know, I was watching the Olympics the other night, and they had Tony Mays from Slow won the gold medal. I said, oh, my God. And then I remembered it was Slovenia or Slovakia or one of those.
Well, I was watching the snowboard cross guys from Paso originally.
Yeah, that's right.
That was shot in there. They go, Paso Robles. They go, you sure? He said it about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And it's great. Moved to Mammoth, where there's a little bit better snowboarding than
Yeah.
Paso. Could understand that.
The good snowboarding is at Atascadero around Christmas time, right? They have that ice rink in front of the City Hall.
Yeah. 10th foul for the Cougars. That's Taylor Thompson, the freshman we talked about earlier. Hal making the free throw. And Pablo Bianchi coming in as the Cougars emptying their bench out of Brazil, 6'5" freshman. So we're seeing a little bit of future here. As I think that now fills out our bingo card for Questa as well.
That's right.
Hal has the shot rejected. McConkey has it. No dish out high to Harris. Hal fighting inside, won't go. Going around Thompson, but it is pulled down by Bianchi.
Moorpark trying to have some fun over here as their season comes to a close.
Well, miscommunication there with Bianchi and Pesic, seeing some late game action.
Right. A lot of players probably haven't played a lot of minutes this year, so they're getting their crack at it.
2:38 to go. Sent back out. Tartnell will go to the hoop, and he will finish. Danny Tartnell, the freshman, getting a bucket.
The bench goes wild. He's a late game sub.
And Alejandro Horta played a little bit earlier in the game, set to return with about 2 minutes to go. Gibson taking this time, rejected by McConkey, but Pesic's got it. Casanova, long 2, won't go.
I'm really glad to see the Raiders having some fun on the bench. That's been a rather tense evening of interaction.
Close the season on an up note. Deflection by Casanova on a pass intended for McConkey with 1:58 to go. Again, standing applause from Steven Sachs on the bench. For Moorpark, Ellis Gibson coming out, and Alejandro Horta returns for the Cougars. Pesic up front on defense.
Well, it's been a good night. The women took care of business rather soundly with a nice strong second half. They're playoff bound. Remains to be seen if they host a home game or not. They have a great RPI, and they're over 20 wins. I think they're a 22-win team this year so far.
That's good. McConkey making the basket. Meanwhile, 90 seconds to go. It's drifted to a 24-point game. Casanova coming in, and with authority, that was taken away by Howell, who will finish and get his team a jam. So the Dunk total now 2-1.
Right.
Favor of Questa.
Casanova is not sure where he is right at the moment.
No, I don't think so. He just knows he's not around a lot of people speaking Spanish. The finish, Bianchi, it won't go, but he will go to the line with 59.6 seconds left.
So I'm doing Pete's TV show next week.
Are you?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
What's the Sports Monthly? It's a fine show. I enjoy doing that show.
It's excellent.
Got to have the annual Battersby appearance. Talk about all the great booster.
Yeah.
And what are some of the nice fundraising things coming up
that
you'll be talking about?
Well, we just finished. We always have a consistent membership drive going on. That's constantly going. I'm actually going to spring training in 3 weeks. I'm going to the White Sox game.
Excellent.
I'm going to try to run down Robin Ventura and see if he'd be open to speaking at like a banquet or a public event to raise funds.
That'd be great. Well, when you get named speakers, Jenny Finch and others have been here, and again, those are great fundraisers.
We haven't done that for a few years. We're very fortunate to have Steve Mariucci provide tickets to games, and one of our booster members provided tickets to the Seattle 49er game. And
those are great prizes.
They're great, and we make $20,000 off of that. And we have a solid list of subscribers.
You bet. Hey, 100 of that was mine.
Was it?
Oh,
Very
absolutely.
Good. Very good. Sorry you didn't make it. But
oh, it's okay. I've been.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was happy to contribute to the cause.
Thank you. Well, we'll be hitting you next year for something.
Yes.
I guarantee you.
No, I definitely believe in contributing. In fact, our friend Jack Sullivan, before he retired, pioneered a program that buys parking passes for veterans at Questa, and I'm a regular contributor to that one as well. Yeah. We like to do what we can for it because we have a surprising number of veterans coming back to school at Questa.
Oh, yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of community colleges. They deserve so much. They're kind of an overlooked part of the population.
Absolutely. We absolutely appreciate their service. Final 23 seconds.
Yeah.
And the Cougars on their way to win number 21 and another Western State Conference North Championship and a playoff bid. And like Jim said, we'll know more on Sunday. Be watching the Questa website for more information. And again, if that means home games for men and or women, we'll be doing them.
Right. And I'm trying to check here real quick. I think this is would be our 10th conference title for Rusty Blair's 414th win. That's about 58%, which is a great. And he's been coach of the year 5 times, and good possibility.
Pesek puts the ball down and reaches out and just starts shaking hands, and Utolan will just keep it moving to keep it legal as the Cougars will just
3, 2, 1.
Take it out slowly. And the Cougars avenge the earlier loss to Moorpark with a win tonight by a score of 86-64. Cougars ultimately outscoring Moorpark 39-30 in the second half. So as we look at things, Jim, as far as this Cougar team, and we know that the playoffs are coming, got some of the big guys back. We saw a variety of players tonight, although we kind of knew who the core folks are. How do you see this team maybe shaping up for a playoff run?
I think we're going to do very well. It's going to depend on who we draw, where we draw them. I think we can stay up with everybody on the offensive end. I'd be a little worried about defensive running games and teams with superior athleticism. But we're deep. We go, I would say, 8 to 10 deep, and we got a couple bigs that really stepped up tonight. It bodes well.
I would say that it's pretty encouraging because the Cougars generally play a little bit small, and sometimes that can be a challenge when you're playing a team that's got a lot of size, a lot of athleticism. But we saw definitely more from Utolan, a lot from Ben Amara, who showed a lot of mobility, a lot of aggressiveness, really a defensive presence inside. And they get a little more defensive help. I really like their chance. It would be really great to see them make a run.
We can put a lot of points up on the board as evidenced tonight. We also have the ability to play good tight defense. We can win the 62, 64 to 58 games also. Like to bid a fond farewell to Remy McCarthy as he completes his coaching career as a men's coach, and wish him well as he saunters out of the building.
Yeah, well, like you, he did double duty tonight.
He did. That's right. I think I handled it better. I think I maintained more emotional stability. That's just my own.
Well,
take
I think
on it,
if you sat a little bit farther over that way, it might be a different story.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
Well, he's Jim Battersby, and I'm Randy Scoville. I want to say, Jim, thank you very much. I look forward to working with you in the future. Again, be watching Questa Sports Monthly this coming month. And again, Jim Battersby, also the president of the Questa Boosters Club, very active. Final score is 86-64 in favor of Questa. We want to thank Bob Mariucci and all the staff for the help. Also, of course, John Arno, who runs the broadcast communications department here at Questa, and all of his students for another fantastic job in scintillating high definition. For Jim Battersby, I'm Randy Scoville. Thanks for joining us for Questa Gym. Cougars on their way to the playoffs after an 86-64 win. Good night.
Hail the champion Cougars. Let's go get them. Thank you, Randy. A pleasure.
Questa.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Questa College right now. Log on to Questa.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't get the boom in the shot. Blown it, bro.
Questa.edu.